What's up, wrestling fans, and welcome to this WWE show review on Tim Reynolds Show. Make sure you like and subscribe as we're going over the Friday Night SmackDown from Columbia, South Carolina. And this show would be kicked off with Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline coming out to the middle of the ring to address the WWE Universe and the crowd. And Solo would go on to say that no one can stop him in the Bloodline. Not Roman Reigns, not Jimmy Uso, and heck, Jimmy Uso can't even get help from his brother Jay on Monday Night Raw because no one wants to help them, and everyone needs to acknowledge him as the real tribal chief. And then we would see main event Jey Uso, the Intercontinental Champion, would come out to interrupt Solo Sikoa and face him in the Bloodline in the middle of the ring. And Jey would go on to say, little brother Solo, he's got love for him, and he knows even he has his problems with Roman Reigns, but this is not a way to go about his business, as he's dividing the family, and he needs to handle his business with Roman Reigns without doing that and dividing the family. But we would see Solo go on to say if Jey was in or out of the Bloodline, saying that he's trying to bring glory back and honor back to the family and to the Bloodline after what's happened in the past year. But we would see Jey to go on to respond by saying to Jacob Fatu that if he keeps looking at him the way he is, that he's gonna beat his ass and knock him out. Some big words from main event Jey Uso, who would then go on to tell Solo that the next time he sees him, things will be different than they are right now. But what does this mean? A big cliffhanger leaving us all to wonder, is Jey Uso in or out of the new Bloodline? And what's going to happen with the Intercontinental Champion in this Bloodline Civil War? Where does he fall in all this? We're just going to have to wait to find out. What a way to kick off Friday Night SmackDown here, guys. And then we would see next up after this, our first match of the evening. And this would be a triple threat tag team match, where we would see the teams of the Street Profits, D'Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford going up against DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tampus Ciampa and Pretty Deadly. And these three teams would be in this matchup, as this is one of the matches for the number one contendership qualifier to find out who's going to be the number one contender for the WWE Tag Team titles. And after an amazing match, we would see this match end in some confusion, as we see the Street Profits take advantage of Pretty Deadly and were able to hit a big finishing maneuver. And as Montez Ford went to go for the pin, we would see the other member of Pretty Deadly also get hit with the finisher by Tampus Ciampa, who would end up pinning them at the same time. Both the Street Profits and DIY get the pin, but as it turns out, Tampus Ciampa pinned the legal man in the Pretty Deadly tag team, and that means DIY gets the victory, and they will move on to next week's number one contendership match for the WWE Tag Team titles. What a big match and win here for DIY, as there was some really big confusion from Montez Ford, who thought him and the Street Profits got the victory, but they pinned the wrong man who was not legal at the time inside the ring, as the referee pointed that out right after the match. Man, what a way to kick off Friday Night SmackDown here, guys. And then next up after this, we would see the arrival backstage of the OTC. Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso would show up, and we would also see them run into none other than Jey Uso, who was there to start the show just minutes before. And Jimmy would be in such shock, and Roman Reigns would go on to tell Jey, I am proud of you, and so is the family, proud of what you have accomplished. But we would see Jey look up and down Roman Reigns and say, no yeet. And oh man, we would see Roman then go to tell Jimmy, see, I told you, man, tough as it looks like Roman and Jimmy are trying to recruit more help going up against Solo Sikoa in the Bloodline, and not such luck with their brother Jey Uso here. Main event Jey Uso, the Intercontinental Champion, not looking like he wants to have anything to do with Roman Reigns and his brother Jimmy. And then next up after this, guys, we would see General Manager Nick Aldis, who would actually be back in his office with WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax. And she would be on the phone with Tiffany Stratton, who I guess had the sniffles or a cold and would not be able to make it for their match that they were supposed to have later on that evening, where Nia Jax was going to team up with her to go up against the team of Bayley and Naomi. And because of that, Nia Jax thought she wasn't having a match today, but General Manager Nick Aldis said, as he finds a replacement for Nia Jax, and that is none other than WWE Women's Speed Champion exclusively on X, as we see Candice LeRae actually be her new tag team partner, as they will also team up to go up against Naomi Bailey later on in a matchup on Friday Night SmackDown. An interesting twist here for the WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax. And then next up after this, guys, we would see Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, this new tag team here on Friday Night SmackDown from NXT, as they look to make a statement here as Lash Legend goes one-on-one with Piper Niven. And of course, Chelsea Green would be at ringside, and it would not be long before she tries to get involved to help out her friend Piper Niven, but that would not really help out Piper at all, as Lash Legend would have backup from Jackson taking out Chelsea Green at ringside, and Lash would see her get a big victory, her biggest victory of her WWE career thus far, as she pins Piper Niven to get the victory on Friday Night SmackDown. And this victory even impressed the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, who were at ringside to see the whole thing. And then next up after this, guys, we would see backstage Roman Reigns in his locker room with Jimmy Uso close by. And maybe a little too close by, if you know what I mean. Scaring and startling Roman Reigns, who was like, "What are you doing, man?" As Jimmy Uso's trying to comfort Roman Reigns and also try to be a little bit of the wise man, if you will, in that spot. But he is no wise man, as Roman Reigns says. And Jimmy would say, "Well, I think it would be wise for you to actually get Jay to help us out, man." And of course, Roman Reigns would say, "Nah, that's not gonna work, man. Now I gotta handle this and take care of this, and we're gonna do it my way." And Jimmy says, "So what way do you mean?" And Roman Reigns actually said, I cannot believe these words came out of his mouth, he is going to acknowledge Solo Sikoa later on that evening. What a big statement from Roman Reigns, as we thought he wasn't going to ever do this to Solo Sikoa, and could it finally happen here tonight on this Friday Night SmackDown? Man. And then next up after this, guys, we would see the undisputed WWE Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, come out to the middle of the ring right by the WWE Crown Jewel Championship belt, full of diamonds, full of beauty, the biggest and brightest, most valuable championship belt ever made. And this belt will be on the line at WWE's Crown Jewel, where it will be champion versus champion, where Cody Rhodes will go one-on-one with the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. And of course, that's what he would pretty much be talking about in the middle of the ring, as Cody would address Gunther and invite him to come by next week as they face off with each other face to face one more time before they get ready to go one-on-one to find out who is the best of the best. And Cody would explain why he needs to win that title and be the first WWE superstar to win that championship belt and solidify himself in his career as one of the best champions in the WWE. And of course, Gunther will go on to do the same thing, or look to go on to do the same thing, as now these two will face off one-on-one inside the ring on Friday Night SmackDown next week. And then, guys, after this, we would see a video message from Kevin Owens, who attacked Cody Rhodes after WWE's premium live event Bad Blood. And last week we kind of got a little glimpse from him trying to explain to us what happened, but just like last week, this week WWE officials have asked Kevin Owens to stay outside of the arena, especially after he attacked Randy Orton last week, who tried to help out his friend, but to no avail after Kevin Owens delivered a big elbow and Randy Orton would respond with a big right elbow of his own. And now Randy Orton wants his hands on Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens would go on to say in this cryptic video message that he doesn't know when he's going to return to WWE, that he's lost all faith in WWE because their golden boy there, Cody Rhodes, got beat up by him, which happens in the WWE all the time. But it broke Kevin Owens' heart that his friend Randy Orton would betray him and do that and pick Cody over him. But then after this, we would see Randy Orton in the face of general manager Nick Aldis, as he is looking for a match with Kevin Owens at WWE Crown Jewel. But we would see Nick Aldis was not really open to make this request or grant this request on Randy Orton's behalf, because he's been told by upper staff and WWE officials that he cannot make this decision. So Randy Orton says, "Well, I guess I know who I have to talk to then about getting this match." And I'm pretty sure Randy Orton is going to talk to Triple H, and I'm pretty sure Randy Orton's going to get the match that he wants, as he can't wait to get his hands back on Kevin Owens after jumping him last week. Man, this is going to be one epic matchup here. And then, guys, next up after this, we would see another #1 contender qualifying match, as we would see another triple threat tag team match. That's right, guys. And in this one, we would see the debut of the Motor City Machine Guns, former TNA two-time tag team champions. They would show up to WWE for their first match on Friday Night SmackDown, and they would have to face the team of A-Town Down Under, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, and Los Garza. And man, what an incredible back and forth matchup, but you all know what was gonna happen as the Motor City Machine Guns get the victory in their debut of Friday Night SmackDown, and they move on to face DIY next week, and we will find out after that match who will be the #1 contenders for the WWE Tag Team titles. Man, what a Friday Night SmackDown, guys. The debut of Motor City Machine Guns was awesome for the WWE Universe. And then next up after this, guys, we would see backstage an interview with Carmelo Hayes and Andrade, and it wouldn't be long in this interview before these two would start beating the hell out of one another, barely getting any words out whatsoever, as we will see these two go one-on-one next week in a Game 7, if you will, with both of them having 3 victories over one another, with it tied 3-3 right now. What an epic match, as the tension is still building. These two do not like each other at all. And then we would see next up after this, guys, after that beatdown, Candice LeRae would team up with Nia Jax in our next matchup, as they team up in a tag team match in the women's division, going up against Bayley and Naomi. And to the surprise, Candice LeRae gets the big upset victory as she pins Bayley with the help of her friend at ringside, who caused a little bit of distraction, as she helps her team with Nia Jax get the victory in this one, to Nia's surprise as well. A big upset victory here on Friday Night SmackDown. And then next up after this, guys, we would see General Manager Nick Aldis being asked about all the chaos that's been happening on Friday Night SmackDown, including with what happened with Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. And of course, General Manager would respond saying, "This does not happen on Friday Night SmackDown. This is not how we settle things. We settle things inside the ring." And so, guess what? Next week with that matchup with Carmelo Hayes and Andrade, he's going to make sure he has a special guest referee that will be able to handle all that chaos between these two. And it's none other than the United States Champion, LA Knight, yeah, as he will be the special guest referee to take on and to see that match next week. Wow, that's going to be crazy to see if LA Knight calls it right down the middle like he says he's going to do. But no matter what, he's going to prove to both of them that they can't even come close to him inside that ring. But we'll have to see who ends up becoming the Game 7 winner between Andrade and Carmelo Hayes in that matchup on next week's Friday Night SmackDown. And then, guys, next up after this, we would see the main event, in other words, with Roman Reigns coming out to address the crowd there and WWE Universe, as it looks like he's going to acknowledge Solo Sikoa as his tribal chief. Nah, I just can't see this happening, guys, but guess what? When Roman Reigns comes out to the ring, he would grab the mic and he would tell Columbia, South Carolina, for what possibly could be the last time, to acknowledge him as the original tribal chief looks to put his word out there to the crowd and to the WWE Universe, saying that he thinks that, or Solo Sikoa thinks that what he's doing is making the family stronger. What he's doing is making the bloodline stronger. No, what he's doing is just dividing everybody. We used to be on top. We used to be the ones. We used to be the ones carrying the championship belts and making all the money. And now we're just a family divided and split up. And then we would see shortly up after this, we would see Solo Sikoa come out and would say all he needs to do, after Roman Reigns saying, what does he need to do to fix this? Solo Sikoa would say, you know what you need to do. You need to acknowledge me. And of course, Roman Reigns would actually say, fine, I acknowledge you. I acknowledge you. Are you happy now? And this would not be enough for Solo Sikoa. I would say, nah, Roman, that's not good enough. You need to acknowledge me as your tribal chief. And you better do it or else. And after Solo Sikoa said that to the original tribal chief, Roman Reigns would respond and say, or else what? And of course, because that happened, Solo Sikoa would be like, haha, I knew it. I knew you didn't mean it. I see you coming out there, and now you're about to find out that I'm going to be the same too. And he would snap his fingers, and of course, here comes the rest of the bloodline that would come out to beat the living hell out of Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns ain't going down without a fight, as he would take out every single member of the bloodline, including Solo Sikoa. And then as the Ulafala laid down in the middle of the squared circle, Roman Reigns would grab the Ulafala and look to put it around his neck. But as he would place it around his neck, he would be attacked once again from behind as the numbers games get caught up to Roman Reigns once again. The bloodline just laying waste to the original tribal chief in the middle of the ring, with Solo Sikoa delivering a Samoan spike right to the neck of Roman Reigns, and then another one for fine measure as Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu and the rest of the bloodline, the WWE Tag Team Champions, would stand above Roman Reigns as Solo Sikoa makes another huge statement on this Friday Night SmackDown. And now with the bloodline civil war a-blewing and Roman Reigns being beat down 2 weeks in a row by the bloodline and Solo Sikoa, what is going to happen next? Guys, you're going to have to tune into Friday Night SmackDown next week to find out, and make sure you check out Monday Night Raw as well, and do not forget to check out Tim Reynolds Show's WWE show reviews for all the action that you guys may have missed to see what's going to happen as this bloodline civil war is a brewing. We have yet to see The Rock come back on Friday Night SmackDown since his appearance at WWE's Bad Blood. So man, this is really building up to, I think, is going to be all out at WWE Survivor Series. But we do have WWE Crown Jewel coming up, where we're going to find out who the best of the best is in the women's division and the men's division. And guys, this has been your WWE show review on Tim Reynolds Show. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel, and check out more of my WWE show reviews from the previous weeks on all the Monday Night Raws and the Friday Night SmackDowns. And make sure you check out Tim Reynolds Show, as I also do WWE show reviews of all the premium live events that WWE will be giving us in the past and in the future. So thank you guys. Thank you WWE Universe and wrestling fans. And if you made it to the end of this video, thank you guys so much. I appreciate all the love, all the likes, and all the subscribers. Thank you for all the comments. Let me know what you guys thought of this Friday Night SmackDown and what you think of Tim Reynolds Show's WWE show reviews. I appreciate all the good feedback. Thank you guys so much. Peace out, everybody, and enjoy your weekend. And make sure you like and subscribe and check out more WWE show reviews and more sports entertainment you can only get right here on Tim Reynolds Show. Peace out, everybody. Have a great day.